Welcome to the stream. How you doing, Mark? Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Congratulations.
Headset on. Massive day. You got a bunch of fans here. Love to see it.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
You still winded from the run, or?
No, that was a pretty conversational pace.
That's conversational pace. Love it.
Yeah.
React to the Connect announcements. How do you envision the next phase of this with developers? I mean, there's so many cool ideas that I could imagine happening on Ray-Ban display, but there's an immense amount of constraints operating in such a small format. What does this look like over the next couple of years?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that there are two platforms here that are interesting. One is the display glasses, and the other is the neural band.
Sure.
And I actually think both of them could evolve into important platforms by themselves. So for the glasses, I actually think there it's pretty clear, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you saw there's the nav where there's a bunch of different apps. We're going to try to start off with partnerships and start off getting some of the most used use cases and really nailing those and getting them in there. And then over time, hopefully we'll be able to open it up in some way, but I think we need to figure that out. The neural band, I think, is going to be an interesting platform by itself because, I mean, right now, we designed it to be able to power glasses. I mean, that was the purpose, but there's no rule that says that it can only be used to power glasses. So I think that that's an interesting thing to explore over time, too. I mean, you can imagine, something like this when you're sitting at home and watching TV being pretty cool, too. So I think we need to figure out what direction this goes in over time, but this is a pretty good start. We've worked on this for many years.
The display is going to get all the attention, but the neural band is insane. I can't wait for people to try it. I mean, the fact that you can buy this in a couple weeks is just insane. Yeah. Talk about the team's foresight around the intersection of glasses and AI, because now it seems incredibly obvious, right? This like always on, this live AI. But it wasn't that long ago that people thought these were like two different sort of like tech trees and they didn't see the convergence.
Yeah, I mean, look, every new important technology needs a new class of devices in order to make it first class. And I think glasses have three main advantages that I think are going to just make them the ideal candidate to be the next major computing platform. One is that they help preserve this sense of presence when you're there with another person. I mean, you take out your phone, you're gone from the moment. Yeah. Glasses have the ability to bring that back. Two is that glasses, I think, are the ideal form factor for AI, because it's the only device type where you can let an AI see what you see, hear what you hear, talk to you throughout the day. Soon it's going to be able to just generate a UI visually for you in your vision in real time. And then the third thing that glasses can do, it's really the only form factor that can bring together the physical world that you have around you with realistic holograms and blend those together. And, I think it's one of the crazier things about living in the modern world is that we have this incredibly rich online world, and you access it through this like 5-inch screen most of the time. So I just think that it's like only a matter of time before these two things are basically fully merged, and glasses enable all of that. So that's kind of been the plan all along. I mean, when we started Reality Labs, or the kind of precursor to it, I think it was back in 2014. It was basically like we went public and became profitable, and then that's when we started working on these longer-term bets. And that's when I started FAIR for our AI research, and we started the precursor to Reality Labs. But I think that these two tech paths really kind of go together.
I noticed you took a picture of Boz's shoes on stage.
Yeah, they were nice shoes.
They're the fantastic shoes. We saw them on the stream. Talk about what personal superintelligence means longer term. Is there a world where I'd be able to take a picture, look at your watch, say, that looks like a good gift for my business partner, find it, order it, send it to him?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I think where we're really going with personal superintelligence and the glasses, it's more the live AI vision that I talked about. So right now, with the glasses, you can invoke Meta AI. You can say, hey, Meta, you can do the gesture with the neural band, bring it up, and you can ask it a question. But I think where this is going over time is basically you're going to have, it's just going to be on all the time, right? And you'll be able to turn it off, and you'll obviously be able to have control over it and all that, but you'll be able to think about AI as more something that is just running all the time, that has context on your conversations. If there's something that comes up in a conversation that it thinks that you should know as you're having the conversation, it'll be able to go off and think and find the answer to that and then just show it in the corner of your vision. If it thinks of something that it thinks that maybe you should, be reminded of after you're done with the conversation. It'll be able to go off and process that and come back. So I actually think that this kind of agentic AI vision of it having context to what's going on in your life and then being able to go off and do work for you and then bring that into your view when it makes sense, I think is going to be really powerful. That's the thing that I'm really excited about.
Mid-conversation, it can sense that you're forgetting a word and it just pops it up.
Yeah, or I mean, my version of this, I mean, ever since I've been thinking about this, I've just been running this thought experiment where every time I'm having a conversation during the day, I'm like, wow, like there's information that I wish I had during this conversation. I mean, the most annoying thing to me is like you're having a conversation, it's like you need to go check in with someone else about something and then go back to the person you're talking to. Here, it's like, all right, you can just like send them a quick message with the neural band, get the information that you need. Right? It's kind of like multitasking on
You're
Zoom.
like the best power user for this. I've run a couple brands. I've advertised on Facebook a bunch. I've advertised on Meta platforms. What does the role of a brand look like? Is it shifting in the age of superintelligence? If all my customers have personal superintelligence, is my experience running a brand going to be different?
Well, I think the brands are going to become more important, right? I mean, I basically think that like all kind of economic theory assumes that people have access to perfect information, and I think the internet took us a step closer to that, and AI is going to take us another step closer to that. But in a world of perfect information, what matters? It's like that people trust you and that you have a good reputation and that they know that they know what your work is. So yeah, I think that the evolution of how people think about brands, I mean, that'll obviously shift with every new technology, but I think it's only going to get more important.
Yeah, I feel like there's already a little process where people find a product, they see it on Instagram, but then they might search the comments or go to their favorite creator. What does my creator friend think about this? And superintelligence being able to go around and do some of that for you, surface it all. That makes a ton of sense.
Totally.
Talk about the work with James Cameron and the future for virtual reality. How many pairs of glasses do you think people will have in the longer term?
That is like there's this interesting tension between condensing everything into a single pair of glasses. Yet at the same time, humans love to have
tool
diversity.
for the job.
You don't want to wear the same watch every day.
I think that you're clearly going to be able to have a lot of interactive and immersive experiences on glasses, AR glasses. But I think the right analogy is kind of like augmented reality is the future of phones. It's the mobile thing that you're going to take out with you. And I think virtual reality is the future of TVs. And the reality is that the average American spends, I actually think they spend about as much time on a TV on a daily basis as they spend on their phone. And but they're different use cases, right? One is more immersive and interactive. I think that they're both going to be important. And the experiences are going to be limited by how much compute you have. You are just going to have less compute in augmented reality glasses. I mean, you only have so much space to fit a battery and compute and like the connectivity to whatever other device it's running is not tethered, right? Because you don't have a wire. Whereas with VR, you just have more real estate. So it's kind of like the difference today between you have mobile games on your phone, and then you have much more advanced games on a gaming console or a PC, which can have a lot more processing. I think the same is going to be true here. You're going to be able to have great experiences on the glasses, kind of like akin to your phone. You can do pretty much anything. You can watch videos on your phone, do whatever. But if you want the kind of most immersive version of it, I think that there's going to be a dedicated thing for that.
You're using the Meta Ray-Ban display on the way to the office, reading some emails. You might sit down at the desk, walk in, right? I think it's time for a size gong. You have some big announcements today.
We'd love for you to hit this gong for us.
Here you go.
Congratulations on MetaConnect 2025. Fantastic. We would love for you to sign this as big as you can. We want the gong game signed. We're going to retire this and hang it
the gong.
As big as
hang
you
it
want.
in the rafters.
All right, there you go.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Good to see you guys.
Have a great rest of your day.
Sci-fi into the present.
Thank you. All right, see you guys.
Fantastic watch, by the way.
Thank you.